Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you guys are well, wherever it is that you may be around the world. Yes, I went to Milan. I watched the game. It was great. We've got some videos to show you and stuff. We'll be going through that. We'll have a quick talk about the Milan game as well. Lots to discuss on there. We're going to talk sort of have an overall show today. We're going to be talking about Nkunku. We've got news on Bellingham. We've got some breaking news on Nkunku actually that came out not long ago. We're also going to be talking about what else have we got here? We're going to be talking about the sporting director scenario. We've got to get into that as well. Keep ourselves up to speed on that. Jorginho's contract discussions as well. We'll be discussing that. We'll be going through some of the players' performances as well in the AC Milan game. Sort of highlight the individuals that started as well. Open up the lines. Get you guys all involved. Sorry, it's been a bit of a later show today. It's usually a show that I like to do a lot earlier than usual, but it's been a little bit crazy. It's been a little bit crazy these last couple of days or so. But I hope you guys are well. And before we move forward, let's cue that intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV. It's been a while. It feels like it's been a while. Obviously, the last show I did, I think, was either Saturday or Sunday before I flew to Milan. I couldn't get the preview in. It's been crazy. I wanted to stream yesterday, didn't get a chance. I got back yesterday morning from Milan. It was great. It was honestly such a great stadium to go to, and I'm glad that I went. Don't get me wrong. I'm not too happy with the way they sort of treated us after the game. And trust me, a lot of us had to walk a long way just to get home hours as well. It wasn't good in that sense. But in terms of the overall experience, it was good. It was nice. And it was definitely something that I would recommend to everyone. But today's show is going to be highlighting that game slightly. But we're also going to talk about sporting directors, potential players coming to Chelsea, contract discussions as well. I want to say hello to everyone that is here already. Big up to Devin, big up to Abs, big up to Chelsea Database, Arthur. Nice to see you, Jamal. Nice to see you as well. Jun from Malaysia says John Shaw's coming on board. Well, we're going to talk about that in a bit. We've got Isaiah as well, says sell Jorginho. We've got Jorginho discussion as well. He had a good game against Milan, guys. He's definitely had a better performance over there. Boy says good day to you. Big up to you. Chelsea OG is in the house as well. But keep smashing the likes, guys. Let's get these likes up on both channels to let people know that we are currently live as we speak as well. Because it seems like YouTube again and have been not letting people know that I'm live. You know, not letting people know that I am currently live at the moment, which can be annoying. But I want to start with Emma Hayes. That's where I want to start. I want to start with Emma Hayes. Where is it? The statement on Emma Hayes, which recently came out today as well, obviously on the show. I keep you guys updated and around what's going on with Chelsea, not only on the men's, but in the women's as well. And she's released a statement basically saying that she's just had an emergency hysterectomy following an ongoing battle with endometriosis. I think I've hopefully said that right. I'm now in recovery and will need time and patience to return to full health. I just want to say thank you to the amazing doctors as well. Throughout my absence, Dennis Reddy will be making an on-field decisions along with Paul Green, who will be carrying out all the press obligations, etc. It doesn't really say too much about how long she's going to be out. Now, we also know that the team are very special. To our fans who have listened to me below and from other side, I want to hear you even louder because I'm sitting at home watching the team. I know you'll respect that my health comes first, and that this time I've got to prioritize what I need to do for me. I fully expect to be making a full recovery, and I look forward to seeing you. So basically, get well soon, Emma Hayes, who's currently, just undergoes a medical, and we hope that she gets better soon. So big up to her, and we'll see what happens with that. But now going back to other matters, and obviously Chelsea played AC Milan away, which was a good experience, and we have some things to obviously go through. Obviously, we've got This from Piers saying that Chelsea have won, obviously, 2 games against AC Milan, 5-0 on aggregate, with an XG of around 3.36 compared to the 0.83. Now, a lot of people will say, well, that's got to do with, that's got to do with partly to do with the 10 men to a degree. Well, we dominated them in the first game and they had 11. They hardly had any shots at home. We just seemed to have a number on them, and we did play very well. But it was about us playing well and being consistent of playing, up to that standard. And the fact that we sort of performed, I feel, I'd say better than we did in the first game, because I thought we played well in the first game as well. But at that level, it was just too much for them to cope. And part of it for me is the way that the AC Milan manager set them up or put them out in this game. I wouldn't say it made it easier for us, but some of the things that it was asking the players to do on the pitch from a defensive aspect when they didn't have the ball and stuff was very just something you don't do against Chelsea. You don't allow us to have that much space. When you do, you get hurt. And that's what happened. They got hurt seriously. They got hurt pretty bad. And it could have been more. It could have been more. Chelsea go from bottom of the Champions League to top of the group. And again, you can only say, well done to Graham Potter, and when you look at each and every game that Chelsea are playing under this manager, there is it's still very early and it's very hard to judge, but they're showing a pattern of consistency in the way that they're playing. There's becoming more of an identity on how we want to play the game and how we want to move the ball and etc. And I think that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I think that's something that I think all Chelsea fans have been waiting to see. And the consistency thing is something that we're going to have to wait and see as well. The consistency of the players, the consistency of them playing to the standard that's required to be at this team for Chelsea. But so far so good, and certain things that maybe we haven't seen in other managers, like strikers scoring goals more consistently, starting to see more of that of a rhythm under Graham Potter, who seems to be getting Aubameyang firing as well. Reece James looks immense. We're going to be talking about him soon as well. Big up to Santiago in the house. Big up to Devin Abbas as well. Says get well soon. Harry's here as well. He says how well you recovered from Milan. Well, bearing in mind, usually my streams are at 1 p.m. and this is a bit of a random time to stream, especially at 5:30. You could probably say that it's been quite tiring at the least. I probably had about 2 hours sleep on the evening of the game. We had to walk 2 hours back to the hotel. And once we got to the hotel, it was like 2 p.m. and my flight I had to leave the hotel at 6 o'clock. So I only had about 2-3 hours sleep because of Lewis was with me as well. And everyone knows Lewis. Lewis was with me as well and was up till late because he had an earlier flight. But yeah, 2 hours sleep yesterday, all day. Tried to drag it out as long as possible. Got to 8 o'clock and I crashed till about 10 o'clock. But it was definitely worth it. Let's go, Potter. Joey, nice to see you in the house, man. It's been a while. I will be becoming more consistent again with my shows. I know it's like every 3, 4, 5 days when it's usually every 2 days, but I will be coming back and doing match reactions and player ratings and stuff. But we are going to remember the lines today as well. But let's make sure that we're hitting them likes, guys. If we're not hitting them likes, please do so now. Let's get these likes over 100 likes, like we always say. We ain't got enough likes as it is at the moment. Over 70 of you guys here as well. Big up to every single one of you guys that are here. It was very good, mate. It was very good. And how good was it? Well, I'll give you a little. I was trying to upload some of the videos that I had for you guys, but it wouldn't let me. So I'm going to have to kind of go through some of the stuff that I had on my. So here we go. Seeing Terry actually standing on his toes is quite funny. Actually, I didn't know he was standing on his toes as well. But big up to him, Jamie. Nice to see you in the house as well. Big up to you. Nice to see Eric Blue is in the house as well. Yeah, it is. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Big up to Texas Blue. and all you guys that are slowly coming in. Like, Milan is a beautiful city. I wish I could have joined you. Yeah, it was very, 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 very good. I don't know why I just come out of that because I was going to scroll up, but yeah, let's go back to that. Sorry, 2 seconds. But yeah, that was the first night. I was actually there, in and around there at the time when that was all happening. I also saw Kepa having a fag outside the team hotel as well. Still started the game though, but yeah, I caught him having as you can see, a cigarette. I was just this guy obviously isn't Kepa. He was walking in and out of the team hotel just having a fag. You know, I thought that'd be funny. We've also got this as well. This is obviously from me. This is my view. Christensen, what's happening? You love it? Fucking hell. Maldini was his answer back to me. Maldini. Yeah, look, it was that was literally on the pre sort of build up. So there was an area in Milan that we all met up on where the river was. And it was just so busy. Everyone was getting pissed, having a laugh. Everyone was pretty good at it. Don't get me wrong. There was only one moment with a fan out there where it kicked off, and he had an Arsenal shirt on. It was an Italian guy. He had an Arsenal shirt on, and he started on about 50, 60 Chelsea fans on his own. I was offering them out, and a bottle got smashed, and 2 Chelsea fans got hurt. But other than that, it was all right. And then from there, we then made our way to the stadium. We made our way to the stadium. And this was me in the stadium. Yeah, that was to say at the least, that was an interesting sort of vibe. But do you know what? It was such a good experience overall. It was such a good experience, and you know, the stadium. I'll put it this way: the stadium was nice. Going to the stadium, the build up, whatever. Trying to get in the stadium was a nightmare. So you enter in one side of the stadium, and then they make you run around the whole stadium. The away fans, you literally do a lap of the whole stadium, and then you go into a side entrance, which then you go into the stadium. And when you get into the stadium, it takes you 10 minutes. I'm not joking. It takes you 10 minutes to get to the top. So it just goes like this. It spirals and spirals and spirals and spirals and spirals and spirals till we get to the top. But you're in that spiral for about 10 minutes. We literally had to run up the spiral because we were just about to miss the beginning of the game. And it was just, it wasn't pleasant trying to get in. And then when you're in, you want to drink, you're thirsty, you've not had a drink for like 2 hours. They only have one bar for over 4,500 Chelsea fans in one corner of their stadium. The queue goes out the blooming door. Yeah, everyone's queuing up trying to get drinks. And you don't pay, so you can't get one. And the toilets, don't even get me started. Literally, before you even walk into the toilets, there's all fucking wee on the floors. And when you get in the toilets, there's a hole. There's a hole in the ground. There's literally a hole in the ground for people to take a piss. It's an absolute piss take. Honestly, absolute piss take for that. But yeah, it is what it is. Italian guts is what Odds is saying here. Mount contracts, how long? 7 years for me. Match Reese wages is what Mitchy boy is saying here. Big up to Matthew as well. Palo, nice to see you. Yeah, it was. It wasn't pleasant. It definitely wasn't a pleasant sight. Them sort of moments, but overall, the views, the stadium, everything about it was lovely. It was just, you know, the service, shall I say, and how they treated us, wasn't as nice, shall we say? It wasn't as nice. Guys, can we make sure we're smashing the likes, share, and subscribe? I know it's a very early show. I was going to do a later show But then what I did, but decided to do it now, and I know a lot of people are still coming through or on their way home from work, so it's a bit of a hard time to be doing a stream at this time. But I had to get it in. We are still got. I'm going Villa away on Sunday, so we will be looking to do a preview show to the Villa game potentially tomorrow. We'll try and do a normal time show. I say like 1 o'clock to bring you guys in as well. And we are going to run up lines. Big up to Jose, who's in the house. Did you get the trams towards the train stadium? No, we walked because the train that we was on stopped for ages. So we had to get out and walk for about 45 minutes to the stadium. It held us there for ages. It was quite annoying, to say at the least. It was quite an annoying experience, but hey ho, we moved from that. And I want to talk about specific players and their performances in the game, because Reece James, and I mean, watching him live and seeing what he did and how good I thought he was, and then watching him again on TV and seeing all the tackles, and someone done a comp of his tackles and he's running forwards or whatever. This boy is truly, and I'm going to keep saying it, he's truly the best player, best right back in the league for me. He is hands down at the moment the best right back in the league. And the ability to pick the ball up, play it quicker forward. What I've noticed about him more in this small space of time, especially seeing him live under Graham Potter, is that he always looks to move the ball forward quickly. You know, he always has he seems to have like a, it seems like he's been told that he needs to look forward, distribute the ball quicker, get it out the pitch. But he's also being more direct. And when I say direct, he's driving with the ball from one end of the pitch to the other to create space, and not only that, assist and be a threat in front of the goal. And he's defensive. I mean, defensively, we know he can defend. But defensively, watching him in the San Siro and how well he dominated Leao, you know, and literally bodied the guy completely. It was truly a nice thing to see. It really, really was. It was unbelievable. And for me, he keeps getting better and better and better. And the world is his oyster when it comes to the way he is and how he plays and whatever. And I just think, you know, he's consistent. He has so much about him and his game, and we look so much better with him on the pitch. It's just, he was class. You know, his timing is so important. The way he knows how to go forward, when to come back, his timing between how to understand his role is so important. And he's just immense. And he was unreal in that game. And Leao, as good as Leao is, and let me tell you something now, Leao was kept quiet away at the San Siro, but he had these moments where he rose. You know, he gave Chalobah problems and whoever else. As good as Leao is, every time Reece James was in front of him, he struggled to get around him, and that's why Leao came out with the comments he did about Reece James, about saying he's probably the toughest guy he's come up against, because he's that good. He genuinely is that good at the moment. And going on from Reece James, we're now going to talk about another individual in the name of Mr. Aubameyang. Now, I haven't seen many Chelsea fans, they might because I've been away, but I haven't seen many Chelsea fans talking much about his performance, Aubameyang. And when you look at the 4 games there, AC Milan twice, Crystal Palace and Salzburg away, we are starting to see a bit more consistency from our strikers in front of goal. And again, Aubameyang in all of them games hasn't been created loads. It's not like he's being given 4 or 5 or 6 plus shots a game. When I watched him in the Milan game, his link-up play, along with his movement, even at the age that he is, 33, he's not that old, was very impressive. But what he does have when he is in front of goal is that just being clinical, is that sort of cut-through edge of that, well, you give me a chance, I'm going to put it in the back of the net. And yeah, he does disappear sometimes in the game. Don't get me wrong, he has that moment, and I get it. But he is always heavily involved in our build-up play. The way he holds the ball up, the way he links up, the way he drags the defenders left or right. You know, he's not physically the strongest, but he's not small. Don't get me wrong, he can win headers and whatever. And he still has a bit of pace. He's not completely slow. He's not that rapid Aubameyang that we had, at Arsenal. That's terrifying speed. But there's still speed behind the guy. But the most biggest thing of this all is he's clinical. He takes his chance. He finishes. And we need that. You need that. And what he said there is correct. He's intelligent. He's intelligent, and he's a very intelligent player in front of goal, in and around the box. He knows where to make his runs. He doesn't just stand there. He's always creating space for other players, and that's why you probably see the better of Mason Mounts. Sterling's as well. Big up to Matty in the house. I did enjoy my holiday. It was not bad. Big up to Joey in the house as well. Thank you, my man. He couldn't do a squat if he handled. His class. Can't wait for him to thump up Asna. Yeah, again, it's keeping him fit. We've got Broha as well, guys. We've got options. We've got Broha. We've got Aubameyang. We've got players that we should look to give, give more game time and maybe rotate. And that's going to be on Graham Potter to make sure that he does rotate, that he does give players the opportunity. I am back. It's a bit of a late show, don't get me wrong. Hence why we haven't got the biggest of crowds at the moment. But, I wanted to just do this quick show, and then we're going to allow people in as well. Big up to you, Ortiz, as well. Impressive from him. But we are going to quickly do a player rating. Then we're going to go straight into transfer talk. And we'll talk about sporting directors and other things. And then we're going to open up the lines and let you guys come in, have your say, get involved as well. So let's do a quick rating. Why not? Let's quickly go through some of these players. How good was Kepa? I'm still waiting for him to be tested. I'll be honest with you. He's still a player that I feel that he's doing it very good in terms of his distribution, and he has the odd good save here and there. But I still feel that we're waiting to see him be tested with multiple chances. It seems like Graham Potter has shown confidence in him. I don't see why he should be dropped. He doesn't deserve to be dropped at the moment because he hasn't had a moment or he hasn't had a time where we can maybe criticize him, and that may come, especially when we come against teams that are going to test us more in front of in games, or we're not defensively as good. But in this game, he did have tons to do. I'll be honest; it was hard to give him a rating. I give him a 7, but it's hard to rate a player that didn't have much to do in the whole game. So for me, quick rating for Kepa is a 7. You guys can get involved in the chat as well. I want to move on to Koulibaly, who again, it's funny because I find that a lot of rivals look at Koulibaly and don't talk about him because they feel that he's washed. But from what I've seen at him from AC Milan live, next to the El Monstro Thiago Silva, is that we have experience, knowledge. He kind of allows us to not have to play Silva every game, I feel, because he has that sort of, when he's calm and he's not rushing, he's rushing into tackles, which we've seen in moments of him, when he just plays the game like he did against Milan, it's just very good. You can see why he was touted top 5 in the world and deserves to be top 5 in the world. But it's he had a good game. He had a very good game, and I saw him live, and I thought he was very decent. I mean, what is that? What are you saying, Kazim? Why are you saying he's crap? You guys are not happy with him. You guys are not happy with him. Let me know in the chat. I thought he was fine, Koulibaly. Yeah, but he does. I get that. He does. But for me, I thought he was very good, and I think he's class. For me, I'd give him 7. Give Koulibaly a straight up 7 on this one. But I'm interested to know what your thoughts are. Listen, there's only one thing I can say about this guy. This guy. Got the goal kit. See this guy? Let me hold this shirt. This guy right here is another 9 for me. That's how good this guy is. Class. And by the way, this is the new 3rd goal kit. The third kit that we got. I've got it. It came today, actually. He is the first player that I have on the. I don't buy shirts with players' names on it because I've not really had much love for them. But he was an 8.59, and I am not going through another season without having this guy on the back of a shirt. And he was just class, man. He genuinely was. He was so good. He was so good to watch again for me. I would give him another 9. There we go. Put my shirts back. I'd give him another 8.59. I think he was that good. Class. Easy. Koulibaly is a 6. Thiago is an 8.5. Kept crap. Kept crap? What do you mean? Kepa crap? What do you mean? Kepa crap? Oh, I'm not sure what you're saying. 9 is what we got here. Reece James has got a 9. We're going to get to Reece James in a minute. I wish we had Thiago Silva sooner. So do I. So do I, Ricky, man. I wish we had him sooner. Silva is an 8. 9 for Thiago. Yeah, he's just class, isn't he? Sam says 10 as well. I just think Thiago Silva is just so consistent and good. Another one who I thought has had good games and is having good games and deserves to start is Mr. Trevor Chalobah. Again, great performance. You know, had Leao to come up against again. And, you know, Leao had him on some moments. And, you know, you can't really criticise him for that because Leao is a top. I'll tell you, Leao is a class player, mate. I really hope we do go for someone like him. He's got some talent. I think what worries me a bit with Leao is in the big games because, like, you don't get him involved, it kind of goes missing, you know. But I think in the Chelsea team where you have more possession and whatever, I think you could create more. But in terms of Trevor Chalobah, I thought he was great again. For me, he was an 8, hands down an 8. Like there's no debating how good Trevor Chalobah was. He was very good for me personally. 8. Him, Silva, and Koulibaly seems to be the 3. Fofana's injured. Fofana maybe would have taken his position. But again, it goes back to the same thing as what we're saying about Kepa. We're not going to be dropping Trevor Chalobah anytime soon. He doesn't deserve to be. For me, he was an 8. You know, 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7. You know, I thought he was very good in this game. Reece James, unbelievable for me. 9. I agree. Reece James has to be a 9. Hands down 9. He was that good. Class. I already just said earlier, up and down the pitch. Defensively great. Timing of his runs were perfect. His forward passing is immense. The amount of times he played the ball direct in and behind the defence where the space was, which led to Mason Mount's goal. You know, it was just a class performance. It genuinely was just a class performance. Trevor Chalobah was 7. Reece James 9, 9, 9.5, 8.5 is what we've got here. It's just class, man. He just class. Ben Chilwell. I'm going to give Ben probably a 7 or a 7.5. Even though I thought he was good, I thought he had a good game, I think he was better than Reece James. So for me, I'd probably say he's probably a 7.5 for me. Up and down the other end of the pitch. You know, he looks fit again. That's the thing with Ben Chilwell. He's starting to look like he's finding his form, he's finding his rhythm. And that's only good for us. And Sam's saying 6. Got 7, 7, and a 6 here. Yeah, I think it's a benefit to Chelsea. You know, that he's now fit. And Cucurella, who's not playing games at the moment, might be to do with the form of Ben Chilwell. The difference with Ben Chilwell and Cucurella for me, though, is that Cucurella is more direct. I think Chilwell doesn't release the ball quick enough sometimes. Even though I wish he would release the ball quicker. But, yeah, other than that, can't be more critical of him. Now, let's go on to Jorginho. Gets the goal. In his home crowd at Italy. Bins it. Finishes it. And you know what? As critical as I am of him, he had a good game. You know, and he sort of controlled the tempo of the game. And when the team goes down to 10 men, I think Jorginho is probably one of the best players to have on the pitch because he will control the game. He will move the ball. He'll, you know, it fits a Jorginho sort of type of performance anyway. You know, and for me, he had a good game. Jorginho for me was an 8.5, 8.5, whatever you want to call it. He was very good in the game. 7 for my guy J5 is what Eric's saying. 8 is what Sam's saying. 7.5 from Ricky. 8 as well. Yeah, I thought Jorginho was good. I thought he was good, and I'm very critical of him. I know Matthew's here. I know how much he loves him, tags me in everything when it comes to Jorginho. 9 for me, 98% pass accuracy, 1 ball more than anyone. He was good. I can't even deny it. And when he's good, he's good. I will say it. I'm not going to not say a player has been decent. He was good. For me, he was an 8.5. With the goal as well, and he controlled the game. 8s. We've got lots of 8s, some 9s, 8, 6 from Gaz. Gaz is calling a 6 on Jorginho. Interesting. Now, let's talk about Mateo Kovacic, because, again, I thought he was outstanding as well. Him and Jorginho are both very good. I'd probably give Kovacic an 8.5. This is probably Kovacic's best game this season for Chelsea. And I'm talking about he looks more fitter. He's getting up and down the pitch. He looks more energetic. And it just worked. It just worked. So for me, Kovacic, 8.5, whatever you want to call it. Grable Stinner's giving him a 10 out of 10 is what he's got here. Fair enough. Jorginho will outlast Kante at Chelsea. Well, we're going to talk about Jorginho's contract after this quickly as well. Yeah, good. Kovacic, Sam says a 9. I think 8.5, 9 is probably fair. 7.5 to 8, agreed. 8.5. Cool. All right, guys. Let's move from this. Because like I said, we're not going to spend too long on this today. So we've gone through them. And now we're going to someone that has been getting criticised recently. And he does continue to get criticised for his performances. Don't get me wrong. He's had some dodgy performances this season, in my opinion. But this is one of Mason Mount's finest performances. And he was good. Very good. And he played off the right, further forward. His link-up play with Aubameyang was very good. And Sterling. Running in behind the defence where the space is, which is what he was doing. The pass for Aubameyang on his second goal was out of this world class. His determination to get up and down the pitch and work hard off the ball was very good. He's got to be a 9 in this game. He has to be, just for his overall performance. Kovacic for a 9. We've got here 9, 8.5, 8.5 for Mount. I thought it was good, Mount. Mount had a good game. Definitely had one of his better games. Definitely had one of his better games for me. Guys, make sure we're smashing the likes if we haven't done already. Let's get these likes up as well. We haven't got enough likes. I know we haven't anyway. Now it's a bit of a later stream than I usually like to do. But had to get it in. Trying to get back into the rhythm of doing the streams for you guys. But yeah, 8.5, 8.5, 10, 9.5, 9.5, 9, 9. I was impressed with Mason Mount's performance. Raheem Sterling's performance. See, I don't think out of the front three, I don't think he was the best. I actually think he was the worst. But then again, I don't think he was bad. I just don't think he was great. So for me, I'd probably give him like a 7. Personally, not that I don't know what it is with Sterling. Like I think he gives us something. Don't get me wrong, he does give us something different, but he's very frustrating sometimes in terms of holds on to the ball too much, and he just sometimes he makes the wrong decision with his passes. But in this game, I just wasn't overly impressed with him. I've seen better with him. For me, probably a 6.5, 7. I don't think it was his greatest performance, man. 6.5, 7. I don't think he's fit. He fits the system, is what Tenzin's saying. 7. Oh, Sterling was a 6, is what Jay's saying. 6.5, 5. Maybe a 5. So some people are sort of mixed views on Raheem Sterling's performance as well. It's a hard one. It's definitely a hard one to judge. He's so greedy and doesn't know when to release. That's the thing for me sometimes. He doesn't play it quick enough, and I just don't get it. I don't know why he tries to be like in his head. Does he think he's Hazard sometimes? Like he thinks he just take on everyone and then he just trips over the ball and loses it. Like needs to be a bit more quicker with his movement and his passing. If he does that, it'll be better for him because we know he's got the ball, the agility to do that. Yeah, I agree to a degree. Let's go on to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who I thought had a good game. I said it before, 8. 8.5, whatever you want to call it. Overall good, led the line well, held the ball up well, linked up play well. No, could have had 2 goals in this game, really. He gets his 1 goal, and it was just a clinical, put me in front of goal, I'll show you how to put the ball in the back of the net finish. It was a good finish. It was a really good finish from Aubameyang. Very impressed by him and his performances. Not long. Soon, very soon. I'm just going to finish off with a couple more things off this game, just to do with Chelsea, and then we're going to open up the lines and get you guys in. Big up to every single one of you guys. 8.5, 8, 8.5, 7.5, 8.5. I think Aubameyang has been very good at Chelsea since he's come in here as well. And Graham Potter's rating for me is a 9 as a manager. Decision making, tight team lineup, everything that he has done with that team in that game was very good, and we walk away with the 3 points, which puts Chelsea at the top of the league, in the Champions League, shall I say. Yes, you can join, mate. You can. The link will be put in the chat very shortly, but I need you guys to get these likes up. Like I said, we need to get over 100 likes on both. Share on your socials as well. Just let people know that we're live if they don't know already. Let's try and do that as well. Reggae, nice to see you as well. Over 100 of you guys here, which is nice to have you all here. If Alba didn't take that shot, Sterling would have missed that, is what Joey's saying. Potentially, he would have gone past him, wouldn't it? Alba gets an 8.5, 9.5, 9. Yeah, Potter was good. Right, moving away from that game, I want to quickly talk about other things about Chelsea. What's going on in and around Chelsea at the moment, and where are we at with things? Well, we'll start with Jorginho's contract, because Fabrizio Romano has come out saying that his contract is expiring in June. But our priority is to negotiate with Chelsea, so we are on it. And that's what João Santos is saying. João Santos. This is Barcelona ? Maybe I spoke about him, or maybe about other players. I was there as also in Madrid, Leon Valencia. It's my job. So, him going to Barcelona, I don't see that happening. I think he will go back to Italy. Will Chelsea keep him on next season and give him an extension? Maybe it depends on how he performs the rest of this season, or maybe it depends on how Graham Potter sees it. Does Graham Potter look at it as a must? Does he need him? It'd be interesting to see what happens when Kante comes back in the team. Does he get in the team? Does he get in the team? That's the thing. I think we need to look past Jorginho, in my opinion. But at the same time, having squad depth and options and whatever is a benefit to Chelsea. So Chelsea having that is a good thing. But at the same time, having what we just currently have had for the last couple of years in midfield doesn't really help. We need fresh legs. We need young legs. We need, top prospects, and we're going to talk about one of them very soon. I have a feeling Chelsea are going to win the FA Cup and Champions League, is what Sam's saying. Big up to Treble Lords. He says, let's smash the likes and subscribe. Please do on both GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV, guys. Nearly 140 of you guys here. Jorginho has been a perfect servant, but it's time to go, is what Joey's saying. Yep, true. We need to keep him 1 more year deal, is what SP's saying. It may be too early to say, but Tuchel getting sacked was a good thing. Too early to say, Reggae. And again, I've said this to you guys before. I don't think this is the kind of thing where we should be sitting and comparing both managers. They're two completely different in the way that they're doing it. It's still too early to even do that. Remember, Thomas Tuchel had a 60% winning rate. Graham Potter, it's going to be about the longevity, the backing, the project, the idea. And from what we've seen in the coming games that we've seen, it's been impressive. It has been impressive. Can't knock it. A for pie. It may be too early to say, but Tuchel getting sacked. We spoke about that. We need to buy 2 midfielders in Jan. I don't think we buy 2 midfielders in Jan. I think we probably look to the summer. I think Potter could get backed in January, and it may be a midfielder. But then we have Zakaria, and he hasn't been played. Why we haven't given Zakaria a chance is a weird one in itself for me. I don't know. I don't know. Rice, Alvarez, and Cancelo is what we've got here, and Bellingham as well. We need to start looking for a Jorginho replacement before he leaves. I agree with that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with the contract talks in regards to Jorginho. Now, I'm going to quickly switch to sporting directors because, again, Chelsea have been linked with different types of sporting directors. And two of the ones that we've heard about is this guy from Norwich, the sporting director called Stuart Webber, who Todd Bowley's apparently looking at. Not too sure why or what his background's about or who this guy is, but, he's one of many that Chelsea are looking at. And the other Chelsea are looking at are Joe Shields. Joe Shields is someone who bought through Sancho, Oliesi, Lavia. He's obviously the sporting director at Southampton as well. And it says Shields moved from Armel Bella Kotchap from Bochum and has made his Germany debut last month. This is regarded as more mark of a suitability for role for Chelsea. That from Jacob Steinberg, who's come out with that comment as well. It seems that Chelsea are just being linked with every kind of sporting director at the moment for me. There's not any real clear, narrow path of where you want to go. I think Michael Edwards is someone that we probably do want to get. We may have to be patient on the Michael Edwards thing. And I think we can do that or should do that, providing that he's interested to come to this football club. Paul Mitchell's another one as well that's been linked to the club. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. We'll see. But then again, Chelsea just keeping their options open. And I don't mind that, in terms of that. Lorenz Julian's saying that apparently that anyone that can bring Mbappe a good project financial-wise and footballing-wise, he will be listening, is what Julian Lorenz is saying about that. And that goes on from the back of this comment from him here saying that Chelsea are serious contenders to sign Mbappe. Bowley wants a superstar, hence why he wanted to sign Ronaldo. They would have the money. Again, this is based upon Kylian Mbappe, who's now part director of PSG. Yes, he's a big name, but what sort of wages, how much is he going to cost? It's going to be ridiculous. And yes, maybe Todd Bowley wants that big name. I get that. I just don't think that we're going to sign him from PSG. PSG will hold on with every inch that they can possible to keep him. And Chelsea have to spend serious money. And it's then how does he fit in the team? What do you do with him? Probably play him up front, play him off the right. This is more of his fantasy talk for me in terms of these type of players. It could happen. I'm not saying it couldn't. There's maybe a chance that it may do. I'm just not fully 100% sold on the idea that Mbappe comes to Chelsea. After the Champions League, Tuchel has been absolute loser on all levels. Oh, come on, Gaz. Don't be like that. Are they best in the... God knows. We'll see. So, yeah, there's that. And then we go on to the Reece James could be back in 10 days, according to indications. He's undergoing some scans, and obviously we've been told it's not too serious, just a bit of pain. We're also being told that Chelsea want to hire a director of football operations as well, with Todd Bowley likely to look towards baseball for this. Very weird comment. That was from Tom Roddy. Not going to read all this because this is a talk about revenue and opportunity as well from Bloomberg. And then it goes on to say that Chelsea are in the mix for an all or nothing series, which is something that I thought was interesting. Worth talking to you guys. Chelsea in an all or nothing series. Can you imagine it? I wish we'd had this all or nothing series when Lukaku was here. I'd love to see what what went on behind in the Tuchel era. Whether that will happen, we'll have to wait and see as well. There's also talks about Jude Bellingham potentially coming to Chelsea. Via Sport Builder, so Chelsea have notified Dortmund they are willing to pay more than 100 million for Bellingham. Maybe Chelsea look to go down that route. He could be one of the potential players that we look to bring in as well. So we'll have to see on that. What happened there? Now, and also there's a comment here saying that Chelsea are... Oh, it's gone. Typical, isn't it? Chelsea are heavily connected to someone. I can't even find it now. It's gone. That's it. Conrad Lima. Apparently Chelsea are heavily connected to Conrad Lima, who they're looking to bring in to the football club as well. Yeah, it's we'll have to see. It's an interesting one, isn't it? It really is an interesting one on that. But I want to go to Ben Jacobs' comments here. There's some comments here from Ben Jacobs as well, which is worth looking into. And he's talking about Joe Shields, and it says here, from what I've been told, despite Southampton's dismay, Joe Shields is yet to give Chelsea a final answer. The offer is there, but he's deliberate about what is the best for him and his family, etc. There will be a lengthy notice period or gardening leave that should be agreed to the role. If he thinks he can achieve what he done at the Saints, curry Chelsea pending hire/model, he's not rushing into an answer despite a strong CFC offer. So I'm not happy with how the approach to Shields was handled, but Shields has been open to all parties and has not fully yet agreed. He will talk to Saints who do think he'll go, who do think he'll go, and seek further information from Chelsea on the role over the coming days. The key of all this really is Shields' experience in senior recruitment. He needs to decide whether staying at the Saints or a big operation like Chelsea is better development. Chelsea still await his decision. So Chelsea are obviously looking at Shields as maybe one of the potential big person, like people they want there. He needs to make a decision whether he's ready to take this. Sorry, I'm getting messages as we speak as an option, but we have to see what happens to it. We keep going around in circles when it comes to talking about the sporting director. Anyway, interesting stuff though from Fabrizio Romano today, which says that Joe Shields is in advanced negotiations with Chelsea. He's going to be a man for top talent, and he will also give his opinion on some players. Pavel is in talks as well. He also goes on to say that Nkunku to Chelsea is almost agreed. Yep, you heard it. Nkunku to Chelsea is almost agreed, waiting to sign. Nkunku to Chelsea, guys. How do you feel about that? I really want to know what people's thoughts and feelings are on Nkunku. But hold that thought with you, because I am going to open up the lines and I want you guys to get involved and have your say and talk about everything Chelsea, whether it's AC Milan, whether it's Nkunku, sporting director, or this guy, who is another guy that we're going to be talking about as well, which is Jude Bellingham. Chelsea are willing to pay more than 100 million to sign him. Again, is this another player that you guys would be interested to see at the club? And Nkunku potentially coming to Chelsea. Big up to Ads in the house as well. Hope you're good. All or nothing Chelsea FC. Can you imagine? Living now. Hoping for the second win and quality through Champions League is what we've got here. Big up to Scott. Why are we not looking at Modric, the Ukrainian winger who is playing for Schalke? I don't know. I want to see Mbappe more, to be honest. Well, look, that's fair enough. I mean, Chelsea needs someone in midfield. You know, Lloris, Bellingham, Alvarez, whoever it is that Chelsea are looking to bring in. I think we will definitely 100% be strengthening in that area. That will be something that happens. At the moment, it's hard to really talk too much about transfers because obviously being in it's sort of mid, within the season. I don't think it's. I think a lot of it can just be talk. Smash the like buttons, guys, as well. Let's do it. Over 130 of you guys combined here as well. Nice to see every single one of you guys here. I will put the link in the chat as well. Let you guys come in and quickly have your say. Let's do that because, like I said, this was more of an overall show where I just thought I'd come in. Jude is almost. He is. I think he's more for me. I don't know whether he's like specifically from what we'd get from him would be more of the box to box, up and down the pitch thing. But I do think we need to have someone that sits deeper and holds the play and holds the role and whatever else. So, yes, we've got people in the back. We have Eric Blue, we have Hassan, we have Ahmad here as well. How are we doing, Fez? You all right? Callie's here.
Yeah, we're good, James. How's everything?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I'm just still quite tired from Milan away, but you know, it's nice to be back and now be doing some more streams again as well. I mean, we'll go to you first, Ahmed. Like, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Because this is an open show today. So, what is it you want to talk about?
First of all, I have to start with some banter. I'm really happy that Barcelona is really falling down after yesterday. Like, I remember my Barca fan friend kept pressuring me all summer. We got all your targets. It's over for you, my friend. And seeing him going to sing at Thursday nights is the best thing that can happen to me during the weekend. So it's really exciting for me, and I'm really happy.
Yeah, tell me.
Secondly, I would like to talk about the transfer targets. As I said, we do really lack a six. Honestly, I feel like even with Jorginho and Kovacic having been there, I still feel like we lack a six. I don't feel that Zakaria. I trust the manager's decision not to choose him. Honestly, Zakaria not being chosen is probably understandable. I think if he plays the next few games, we're gonna see why he wasn't chosen. Um, I also feel like this kind of player we have been lacking for a really really long time. I mean, we really need a Rice. We really need someone. Since I remember that one of our mistakes is that we missed out on Thomas Partey back in when Lampard was there.
Yeah.
So I feel like this kind of destroyer, we need a Bissouma. We need someone to play that sixth role like Alvarez and Rice, and that's our focus is needed. Like we need to at least have two of these players this January.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know with the January window. I'm not sure how Bowley will look at it. Will he look at it as like a window where we can maybe attract players and spend like lots of money to doing so, or will they look to just wait to the summer and maybe have a better negotiation period by doing that? This is the thing for certain players because I don't see us spending. I don't know. I actually just don't know with Bowley. You just don't know how he wants to approach this. But why I feel a sporting director is more important in these instances is that they maybe would be a lot more wiser in approaching players and picking certain profile players and things like that. So I don't know.
I mean, I understand your point, James. But the thing is, I'm the kind of person who would actually go for Todd Bowley for the next two windows and wait for Michael Edwards to be available. That's my personal opinion. Like I feel like if we can land Michael Edwards, land
Hmm.
him as much time as needed. Like if it's just because Boli to me has been doing great as a sporting director. He's been getting every player that the manager wants. He's been has been although we missed on like transfer targets, but we still got like quality players in. Like come on, so. So I feel like if he is gonna give us the same volume as the summer for the next two windows, then let him be there. We can at least get a few good players that Graham Potter can play around with, and wait for Michael Edwards. We can start a real project from there, and I
I
don't
think
mind waiting.
I think Michael Edwards it has to want to come in. We've been told that this next summer is when he'll start looking again. So, Chelsea will have to have an idea of what he wants to do moving forward. And obviously, Chelsea's a big project for him. Whether he has any other options elsewhere, he ain't going to take anything small. And if Chelsea is the only big option he's got, then he says, well, wait for me to the summer and I'll come in. Maybe they'll do that. But at the moment, they're looking at obviously this Reed guy from Southampton and some others as well. And it's just like, are we just, how are they pinpointing the profile of director that they want? It seems like we're looking for ones that are maybe potentially not with the big name, but can attract or find the next big thing out there. Does that make sense? And bring them through
Yeah,
the app club rather than find them elsewhere and then try and buy them once they're like a superstar, which is maybe what they're looking to do in the long run. I don't know, but we'll have to see. It's going to be interesting to see what we do with the sporting directorship side of things. I mean, is Jude Bellingham a player that you'd be interested in?
I mean, of course, Jude Bellingham. But the thing is about Jude Bellingham, it seems like an Mbappe kind of signing, where it is
Yeah,
extremely difficult to like structure, extremely difficult to attract, especially when Real Madrid is in the competition. I feel like Chelsea as a team is miles away from attracting these kind of talents. And as a Chelsea fan, I should admit something like this because I have seen it on and on and on and on. The reason why players like we struggled with a lot of big name players isn't just because of the isn't just because with sometimes to be honest with you, Marina kind of messed up sometimes, but also there is the volume of teams like Barca and Real Madrid that we could reach and we have the potential to reach. And I, as a Chelsea fan, I believe under Todd Bowley we might even reach that level. But now, as a starting project, we cannot attract these kind of players. What we can attract is players like Casado, players like Alvarez, players like that would develop that have high potential but hasn't reached their potential yet, if you can understand where I'm going with.
yeah,
So I feel like as Chelsea Football Club, let's stick with these kind of players right now, build them into superstars, and get a lot of trophies with them. Reach that level, high level again that we were in 15, 13 years ago. Then we can come and say, okay, bring me these kind of top talents in the club. But as of now,
Okay.
I don't see any of like Mbappe or Bellingham happening unless, I don't know, Todd Bowley just does the most miraculous thing with his talking with both owners and agents.
I hear you, mate. I hear what you're saying. We'll have to see. Definitely have to see what happens. Let's go to Eric Blue. Eric Blue, what are you saying?
Yeah, big up yourself. It's been it's been a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good few games on the Potter. I've been happy with what I saw. I think there's room for a lot of improvements. We can do a lot more, but this director of football for me is huge. I think it's probably the most important thing. I was reading that whoever comes in is going to be approved by not only Todd Bowley but Potter himself and his people. So I'm hoping for that to be done as soon as possible. That's for me. That's a very big. It's a very big aspect of this whole thing.
For that to be
And
done as soon as possible.
Yeah, go on.
yeah, so for me that's hopefully happens. I don't know who. I have no idea who. Obviously, it was supposed to be what's his name, Luis. I can't pronounce his name. And then it didn't happen in the end with from Leipzig. But who knows, man? Maybe I'm thinking maybe sometime before I was reading or I was hearing. I think a journalist was saying that sometime before next year we should get a new a director of football. So that's what I'm hoping for. Maybe during the World Cup we can get something done.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, my man. I hear what you're saying. It's going to be interesting. Imagine if we get the imagine if we do get the all or nothing as well, which we're being linked to as well, which is really weird, isn't it? I'd love to have had that for the Lukaku season. That'd have been wicked, man. Having the all or nothing, but it's
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how we operate in behind the closed doors and stuff as well. And overall, the performance at Milan, was you impressed with what you saw?
Yes, I thought it was harsh that Tomori got sent off, but I think it's fair based on the laws. It's the right decision. But apart from that, I think we had a very good game. Just because
Yeah.
you go a man, just because we have an extra man doesn't mean all of a sudden the game is easy or it's a gimme. Because we've had games like that in the past and we haven't done so well, even with a team a man down. Maybe we struggled to score, or it didn't look like the team had a man down. So based on that, it's very good. But I don't, it's not easy to just give a full analysis because obviously, 10 men down, a man down early on for the other team. It's not easy to give a full appraisal maybe of the thing. But I think, so far so good. We're playing well. We are beating teams comfortably and we're scoring goals. And we've only considered one goal. So I think those are very good positives to build on.
I hear you, mate. I hear you. It is, and it's very still early doors to see what what this Chelsea team's really about, and I think what we are seeing though in the short space of time is a pattern or style of play on how we want to do things. Again, it goes back to the consistency side of it. Can we consistently play to this level? We're going to see, because again, I still feel like I can't trust certain players in the team, but maybe they can prove us wrong or prove me wrong, shall I say, on that. So we'll have to see. We have to see what happens. Hassan, what you say, mate? Your mic's not working. Hassan's gone. What you saying, Marina?
Everybody.
Who's talking? Hello? Marina.
Yes. Thank you for having me on, Jem. And big shout out to you guys on the panel in the chat. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. I'm in a good mood. Harry Potter has come in and waved his magic wand, and we're scoring goals and we're playing on a consistent basis. Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest. When Harry Potter first came in, I thought this guy's magic power wouldn't work on our squad, but it seems to take an effect. I mean, I think the players are happy with the manager. Look, Chalobah's come in. I'm happy that it had to go down like that, but Fofana's injured. Chalobah's come in, and he's stepped up. I'm happy and pleased with Chalobah. I'm pleased with the squad as of right now, but we're in a stretch of games, consistent games. Like you said before, how consistently can we keep this up on the winning streak side and stay in the fight for the league? We want the Premier League. We want the trophy to share. I mean, I don't think that small club in North London can get it. I don't think they have the consistent squad to do it. I think we have a better squad and we have the potential of winning the league this year. It's up for grabs. Anybody can get it. Look, I mean, I'm not a fan of Bowley. I'm never going to be a fan of Bowley because of the way he's treating N'Golo Kante. I'm not happy with him, but I'm happy
What?
with Harry Potter.
Wait,
I'm happy with.
wait. What's happened to Kante?
They're gonna sell them for cheap, most likely.
Yeah, he's not going to get a
Yeah,
contract
but
renewal. He's going to go on a free. So
Either
I mean,
we offered
either
him.
he gets
We
a
offered him a
contract
contract.
renewal
Though.
on a cheap, or he goes. I believe he's probably going to take a reduction. There's no way, like knowing Kante, knowing his family, they're all settled in London. So unless Leicester or someone comes in for him, I think he'll stay on a cheap.
We've offered him a contract though, and he rejected it. He wants a 4-year contract, and he can't even play 30 PL matches a season. So come on, how can you really blame Bowley or Potter? It doesn't make sense in my eyes anyway. The guy
I'm not
cannot.
blaming I'm not blaming Harry Potter. I blame both. You give Conte what in my eyes. You give Conte what he wants. He
Why?
deserves it.
Why
He
though?
deserves it.
But
He
the
doesn't
thing is,
deserve a 4-year contract though. He
but the
doesn't.
thing is, imagine if he goes on a contract for 200 or 300k a week for the next 4 years, and in the end he reaches like an age where he stops playing and he's on the bench. Now we have to pay like a guy 300k a week while
Is
he's
it the
getting
money
injured.
that he's complaining about, or is it the length of the contract?
I think it's the length of the
Bro,
contract.
So
I
if it's
think
the
if he
length of
gave
the
a
contract, it's
reduction
not the
in,
money situation that's the problem. Conte
it's
is not a
both.
greedy
Bro.
player.
I
It
think
doesn't matter about the
Conte
money.
wants a retirement package. Conte's not. I don't think Conte is the type to say, "Give me 300 for 4 years." I think it's more or less he
Here's
wants
my
to be settled
thing.
in London.
He doesn't deserve a 4-year contract though. Let's be honest. He doesn't.
He
He
does
just doesn't.
deserve it, depending on
He
what
doesn't
money.
though.
If he was offered the 100,
calma. He does
Bro,
deserve
no
a
what?
4-year contract, but
He does
not the
not
hold
play,
on.
bro.
He
He
I
does not
feel like
play.
I feel like if he
let
gets
me
a
land.
I'm not
He
done speaking.
does
Though.
deserve. Oh, go ahead. My bad. You were speaking first.
Hold
Go.
on, bro. He's been
go finish off.
his last PL match was vs Tottenham. Do you understand that? And he for how long has he been on and off not playing matches? On what world does somebody deserve a 4-year contract when he barely plays for the club and he's on high wages too? We need to get other sentiments in. Do you not understand that, bro? We
I
need to get sentiments in.
I
I
feel like
I,
if
Kante's not
if we
reliable
offer
at
him,
all.
I
I
feel like if
agree
we
with.
offer him,
God,
yeah, no, go on, Jay. So sorry, Jay.
I was just gonna say I actually agree with J Cam. To be honest, I don't as much as I love N'Golo Kante. I'm going to put my emotions aside when it comes to him. But we struggle to have this guy available in a squad where we're competing in 4 competitions every season. Like we can't be having a player in the team that's also taking nearly 200, 300k a week and not even able to be on the pitch. And if Chelsea are looking at him and thinking, well, we can get rid of him now and maybe make a bit of value in him, and someone might still buy him, and we make a bit of money on it. And it means that we have to, invest in bringing in someone else. And maybe it is an option moving forward. And I do think it's coming to that time now where if Nkante is going to stay at Chelsea and he wants a long contract, then he may have to take a real big cut and just end his career in Chelsea. That's
But-
it's fine. But we
but
shouldn't
you know-
stop having.
But is
Do you
it
want
his
to know
fault?
what the
Is
problem
it
is?
his fault these injuries are lingering, or is it
No.
the club's fault that he's having
It's
these
the
injury
club's
problems?
fault for over the years.
Exactly.
It is the
The club
club's
is at
fault, but the
helm
game
of
is
the
cold.
What?
injury problems.
What? No,
But
no,
it's
no, 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 no,
but
no,
it's
no,
not
no,
it's
no.
not the club's fault if his
As it
game
the
is
club's
Look
It's
at
the,
the
guys.
I would say
People
I would
finding
say
a
that it's
replacement.
the okay. I won't say
Let
the
me say
club.
this.
Let's say the
Let me-
physios, the physicians within the club's fault that Conte is having
Nah.
these lingering injuries. Yes,
That's
because
crazy.
he
No,
Listen,
takes a knock.
hold on.
He takes a knock,
Hold on.
and
Let
then
me-
we don't give
let me
him
chime in. Let me
100%
chime
time to
in.
recover,
One at a
and he
time.
plays
one at a time,
during
guys. One at a time.
during the
Guys.
FA Cup final.
Guys.
What did Mauricio Sarri say? Conte is not 100%, but we're gonna let him go because we need N'Golo Kante. These managers were playing him knowing that he's only 85% fit. So these injuries are not fully healing before we give
That's
him a run of
factual.
games.
That is
Absolutely
factual.
Yeah,
But
but
see, the thing is,
that backs the whole point of not giving him a 4-year contract, though, doesn't it? Still,
Yeah,
it doesn't
but
matter how injured he
But-
got.
No.
Doesn't mean
It backs the
That was
fact that
not a
we're not
fact.
letting him heal. We're not letting him heal before we tell him to go out there and run 90, giving him 90 minutes. He doesn't come off the
We don't
pitch if he's
give him
playing.
90 minutes. We do
It's
not give
it's
him
a
90
it's as
minutes.
simple as
Guys.
us guys not bringing in a rotation. We were meant to bring in Rice, Chouameni, but we didn't.
if
We
Kante
didn't bring in.
struggles to play more than 2 or 3 90-minute games, that's a problem. That is
Hey,
a
Jem.
problem.
Guys,
yeah, I agree.
Jem,
Guys,
how are
that
these
is a
guys
hold
blaming
on.
how are you blaming the physios when you look at Kante's style of play? Look how much energy he has. He's
True.
always running off the ball. How is that the physio's fault? Look at the
Hold
way
on. All right,
he
I'm
plays,
a-
bro.
let me-
He's
Intensity
always
player.
running when he's playing. He's
He's
always
a high
running.
intensity player. Yeah,
This
I
guy
agree.
Let me
is
land this on
bro, look at
Kante.
the high intensity football from Kante for 6 years, and you're blaming the physios. It's not the physios.
Yes. Look, let me land this on Conte really quick because I don't want to have a back and forth about Conte. There's two types of components that we're looking at here. Should we give Conte a 4-year deal from an emotional standpoint, or should we give Conte a 4-year deal from a practical standpoint? No player, with the exception of Thiago Silva at this club, have I ever seen play for Chelsea past the age of 32, 33 and go on to still hold their levels. So if we're talking a practical standpoint, no, you do not give Conte a 4-year deal. If it's an emotional standpoint, yes, a 4-year deal. Absolutely, managers, club, physios, whatever the fuck you want to name, they are to blame for how serious Conte's injuries got. Because multiple times, don't get it twisted, the intensity of his style of play is what caused his initial injuries. But instead of letting that man heal, when he got those initial injuries, we kept rushing him back every single time. From sorry till now, we have always
I agree
rushed
with that.
Conte back from injuries. So that's
Yeah,
on the club.
He can choose
Do we-
not to
No,
play
no.
though.
That's not a choice. If he's
No, no,
fit,
no,
then
but-
if he doesn't play,
Yeah.
he gets fined. If he
Can I
gets
ask you a
fined, he's
question?
fined for stuff like
Can
that.
I ask you the
Bro,
question?
you're doing
How many times in a season have we had Jorginho, Kovacic, and Kante all fit at the same time? How many times would you think throughout a season have we had that? Because that's my problem. with it.
Never.
I was like 60
Just
games,
over
That's
quarter.
probably
Just
15,
over
20.
quarter.
That's the
Over
problem.
probably-
Isn't
I'm not
it?
even.
You're saying Kante's getting overplayed, but if Kovacic is injured, we're rushing him back in. We've got no choice. We don't have the players in that role. Like, that is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, that's an issue for me in terms of squad depth, because we can't rely on certain. I mean,
Guys,
Ruben was
you
looking
know
right,
what I'm
but-
thinking? We
then
save this
the-
for a Conte debate show. I think we should switch topics.
But
Yeah.
then that would be a problem then, because we go ahead and give Jorginho a new contract. He's gonna probably make over 200K a week too. And then now
but-
that's gonna hinder us from out there going to get another
Brother,
midfielder that we can
listen,
give a contract.
listen. If
It's
it's
not though.
if it's between
It's
a
just
4-year
not.
deal, if it's between a 4-year deal for Conte and a 4-year deal for Jorginho, I will take Conte with all injuries included, and I mean that in the most seriousness, as serious
Nah,
as
I
you can
don't
hear
know,
my
man.
voice.
Jorginho's
No, man.
consistent.
What?
Jorginho barely gets injured though. Like, availability is the most important thing. Let's not lie here.
Brother,
Let's
Jorginho
not
be
lie.
No, but
injured
then-
on the
but then-
pitch.
but then-
Bro,
but then-
No
Ross
availability in
Barkley
the
is
nine.
injured.
Jorginho is
Bro,
barely
use
injured.
him.
Damn, come on. Jorginho is barely injured. Availability is the best.
That
the
that
best
is a
thing.
good point.
But then you already have to think about the work that once done in the pitch, right? Talking about Jorginho and that of the Golo Kante, me barely Jorginho, Golo Kante with all the injury, I can still go out along with Golo Kante.
I hear that, but Kante
Trust.
is not reliable, and we need centre mid.
When he's on the pitch, he's
But
more
he-
reliable than Jorginho has been
He's
for
barely
That's a
on the
fact.
pitch.
Absolutely,
That's a fact.
absolutely.
That's a
Okay,
fact.
but
When
he's
But the
barely
Kante
thing
is on the
is,
pitch, he's
Jorginho is
more
way more
reliable, and of
available
course,
than Kante.
even talking about right, our defensive, you see sometimes our midfield flow and then issue go wrong in the midfield. It sometimes happen because Jorginho is there, and then the way of the style of playing, Jorginho is just like a stabilizer. You know, a stabilized issue. Someone when you are in the game and then the game is going that much good, Jorginho can play well. But then when you have some opponent which are really putting some force on you people, Jorginho don't even know how to tackle well. You know, not even to talk of like defensive issue. Me, as of all the issue of Golo Kante having a serious injury and other stuff, I can still go with N'Golo Kante with 4 years than Jorginho with 4 years.
Nah, I can't. I cannot.
Look,
Guys, the
listen,
solution in
I
guys.
just
this,
can't.
guys,
That
the
wage bill, yeah.
solution
Hold
in
on,
such
really
a
quick.
Yes.
Really quick. Let's not
Okay.
argue about the midfield. Let's be honest. Kovacic should be the only one staying out of those three. That's a fact. And I love Conte. Conte is going to go down as a legend, possibly a shoo-in for an all-time 11. Hold on, let me say this. Possibly a shoo-in for the all-time 11 in the midfield, and that's a fact. But right now, there are two things I see about this midfield, yeah? Conte is not available enough to play. So I hear that reasoning for why Conte shouldn't be in the team anymore. But you guys say availability. Zakaria is available right now. He's not playing, right? I don't care about availability. People need to understand. You need to be available and consistent. Don't give me this, oh, Jorginho's available shit, when theoretically, and if I'm keeping it $150, our decline started when our midfield dropped out. When Conte got injured and then Jorginho became the main man in midfield, what the fuck happened?
Kante's
So at
none
the
of
end of the
those,
day,
but Kante's
hold
not
on.
available or consistent.
But
This
that's why guys,
consistent
you
when
go
he is
for
fit. That
someone.
is a rash argument. He is definitely
No, it's
consistent
really
when he's
not.
fit.
Come on, it's really not though. Kante is not consistent. Remember the champion? Like, come on. Okay, we
Jay,
can.
literally, he only started declining or started a noticeable decline last season. That's literally
Thank
like.
you. Thank you. Let's be
Yeah, okay, that's
same with Jorginho. I
when we
don't
talk about consistent in footballing wise, like
in
playing.
on him the last year
Yeah,
and a
and
half.
footballing wise,
Oh, okay,
he
yeah,
started
yeah.
being.
With that, yeah, I agree. Yeah, consistent. Yeah. I thought you meant like in available. No, yeah.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying. Your argument is he's not available, so he can't be consistent. And brother, look, I hear you about the content availability thing. I have that issue with a couple of our players. Pulisic used to be head of the fucking list on that. But what I'm trying to say is this, right? If it comes down between who is the better player, Conte when fit and Jorginho when fit, it is not a comparison. Yes, they are in different roles, and yes, I'm not going to sit here and act like they're the same type of midfielder. But for what they bring to Chelsea Football Club, if I had an option between Conte being fit and Jorginho being fit, I know Conte's coming in and he's world class. That is the difference.
Yeah, of course.
But you are absolutely right. The whole midfield has to go. The whole midfield has to go except for
But
Kovacic
do you
because he
know?
got
Do
a
you
bit of
know
time
what the
left.
problem is though with the
That's
whole
a fact.
situation? You gotta look at it from
What's
an
up?
objective standpoint, which is Bowley wants to compete and bridge the gap. There's no way we're gonna
Yeah.
sell all our midfields and spend next 3 windows replacing our 11. He wants to do a bit of balance of keeping some and strengthening at the same time, then letting them go or letting them run down their contracts. Let's not forget,
Nah.
Bowley's got a lot of
Guys,
issues to do.
yeah, just quickly, GNA TV. I don't know what's happened. It's completely cut off. It's glitched off. So the stream on GNA TV ended about 10 minutes ago. But I'm still live on Chelsea Fan TV at the moment. Over 100 of you guys.
They're really doing some.
Mate, they're doing something to
man,
me
it's a
because
little
every time I go
interesting.
live, they're trying to make sure that things ain't happening to me at the moment. I don't know what's going on, but it's really
Anyway,
winding me up.
guys, subscribe
if
to
I'm-
the GNA side if you're on Chelsea.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone listening, big up GNA TV. We love Chelsea Fan TV. The subscribers show that. But make sure you get these likes, smash them bell icons, and subscribe to GNA TV. Don't let the man take my other man down, all right? That's not what I like to see.
Anyway, yeah, we got a road to 10K at the end of the year. I know it's a bit of a long mission, but it's doable. And I hope we can get there. But anyway, back to the relevant conversation. What I was saying, with the whole situation, Bowley wants to compete. He doesn't like the gap between the leaders being bridged away from us. But my main point was we can't spend the next couple of windows from Bowley's perspective replacing the 11. I feel like he's going to let a lot of their contracts run down or go on a free and strengthen at the same time. I feel like with the whole director of football situation, the Michael Edwards, it's also another thing of the point of Bowley doesn't like waiting for too long. He wants to bridge the gap fast and he wants to do it before anyone else can compete with him. Otherwise, we're stuck with the same situation last season. We have lots of money, but a lot of players are being wanted by other clubs. He wants to bridge the gap as fast as possible, which is why he's going for Nkuku early. Is why he's going.
That's why you gotta get a technical director in as soon as possible.
Exactly. Thank you.
He wants to.
So because if Bowley wants, oh, go ahead.
I believe that Jorginho and Kante will both stay and run down their contracts while Bowley's strengthening. Because there's no way we're gonna let these two go.
Nah, one of
There's
them
no
are
way.
definitely leaving. One of them are
No,
definitely.
no. I
I'm
think
I'm
he's been
telling you right
distracted.
now, it's looking
Guys,
like they're gonna keep Jorginho and let Conte go, which is a
let's
stupid decision, but
let's
something's gotta be done.
let's
One
move
of them
away
are.
from Jay. Let's move away from Kante and Jorginho for a second. So we've been stuck on it for the last 15, 20 minutes now. I want to quickly talk about the forward line. And I want to talk about two players in that forward line from what we've seen up to now. Let's start with Aubameyang. I mean, how is it still early doors to say that we've got a number 9 that's actually scoring goals and we should be excited for it, or do you feel confident that Aubameyang is
Nah.
the striker to end that
I'm
number
away
9?
10 games for that. The
I
number
feel
9
confident.
curse always happens.
Wait,
I'm
Honestly,
away
I
10
think
feel
games.
confident.
I'll speak on it early. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I feel
No.
confident because this is a. How long have we? No, so we've got Potter in, yeah. He's an attacking manager. When was the last time we
Fulango.
really had an attacking manager? And
Sorry,
Sarri's
Tuchel.
not an attacking
Let's go
manager.
home. Brother,
Sarri's not an attacking manager.
what?
No, Sarri is an attacking
Bro,
manager.
what? Bro, what are you guys?
Sarri,
Sarri
Lampard,
was
and
the
even Tuchel are
No,
better.
guys,
defensive
let's
Hold
not
on,
do
hold on,
this
hold on.
howler.
Listen,
We
hold
got
on, pause.
Nah,
Hold on, guys.
There's no way you guys.
Let's be audible. Let's be
Sarri was an
audible. Let's be audible, please. At least let's have some good sound. Let's be audible. Okay, go on.
Bro.
Okay,
Okay, wait. Let me finish my point though.
go
Aubameyang,
ahead.
I do feel he will succeed at Chelsea because Paul, his way of thinking, fluid football, attacking really attacking type of football. And look at Aubameyang, he's taken how many chances? He barely gets the chances, but as soon as he gets those chances, he's scoring them. And strikers in the past, they haven't really been doing that. So
I agree. I think this is the best attack we've seen since
I
Hazard.
agree with you, Jay. That's the thing. I agree with you, but the thing is that your idea of like your point of like, oh, just because Potter is an attacking manager. No, we have been doing this with Tuchel. We have been doing this with Frank Lampard. We have been doing
Thank
this
you.
with Maurizio Sarri.
Thank you.
But the
doing
thing is,
what?
we had
Let him
Lampard up front and we had
Attacking
Timo Werner
football.
up front.
No,
You
we
get
did
the
not.
goal in front. How many times did Werner have the goal in front of him open? Maybe
A
20
lot.
times, 30 times a season. He didn't even score 11 of these. Like,
But
come on, bro.
we're using
That's
the same
because
attack.
Aubameyang is a clinical player. Aubameyang never.
Hold
If
on,
you
hold on.
look
I'm
at
gonna.
Aubameyang's stats,
We're using
Aubameyang's
the
stats
same
at every
attackers.
club,
The same
Aubameyang.
attackers who was okay. Sorry, the same attackers who was scoring under Potter. They were not doing this under Tuchel.
Okay, hold on. And that's what I was waiting
No,
for. I was
that's different.
waiting.
I was
I was
waiting for
waiting
that.
for. Let Callie. Let Callie hit this real quick, brother. Let's start really quick and very succinctly. Let me tell you the last 3 managers' identities we had from Sarri. Sarri was a possession attacking team with interloping play through the midfield. It is why Ruben and Mount had a breakthrough season. That's one, not counting Hazard, who was carrying the team. Number 2, you move on, right? You go to Lampard. The reason we kept getting split like a stripper was because Lampard was gung-ho attack. Gung-ho attack. I'm talking, he didn't care if he was down 3-1 to Liverpool. He kept attacking. He lost that game 5-3. Like, let's put some perspective here. Tuchel is the one that kills me. Tuchel never got to implement his attack, but even when he was using the formation he was using to pretty much cover up all our weaknesses, we used to rip teams apart. I don't like this thing about people having amnesia about what the hell happened under Tuchel. Not only did we not concede goals ever, hold on. Not only did we not concede goals ever, we literally were behind Man City in chances created. And that was back when we had poor chance creators, which they're still in the team now. So when you say Potter is, oh, he's an attacking manager, brother, I don't care if Potter was any type of manager, because some of these players, when they get out of the little manager bounce, when they get out of that, oh, I'm feeling all happy with my manager, they're going to do the same crap to Potter. And then I'm going to come back to this 2 years from now when they're like, oh, Potter wasn't an attacking manager. Are we high?
Bro, the attackers were not even on form when we had Tuchel as a new manager, though.
If you look back further into the season, it's no surprise that Aubameyang and Sterling are our top scorers. Literally, most of our attackers barely hits double digits,
which are brand new attackers.
Aubameyang and Sterling have literally caught up to what half of our attackers would do in 6 months.
And I
also stand by that too. I agree.
I'm sorry, but the new manager bounce when Tuchel came in, our attackers were not scoring goals. as well.
Yeah.
It was defenders.
Brother.
It was
No,
That's true. That's
Bro,
true.
we've seen this the
Brother.
last
thing
time
is,
you
It's
won
Jay,
it.
true.
No, no, no.
It's true.
But I'm not
Jay,
saying it's not true. What I am saying is, did you look at those games and how many wide open goals we missed? I cannot tolerate this coming from. If Potter does the same thing and people start missing wide open goals, are we gonna say it's Potter's fault? Fuck
So
no. So why
so
the hell
why
are we
did
blaming
Yes.
Tuchel?
so
One.
why the attacker
What?
scoring under
Okay. What?
Potter but couldn't do it under
Tuchel by
Tuchel?
itself. Well, Tuchel
Hold
by
on.
itself
Let me hear.
don't
Can you
have
answer that?
that particular blame. Of course, yes,
It's
still we are
the
missing
style of
white
play.
goals.
It's
If you can
it's
take a
the
look at
style
our
of play.
strikers, a lot of opportunities are coming at that particular 18-yard box. Yes, still they are missing chances. Of course, by itself, the Aubameyang by itself, they have missed a lot of chances. Though by its movement, of course, the only thing Aubameyang is a bit good than our previous strikers. Like I can say, not the air of Diego Costa. Starting from Diego Costa upwards now, which we can say, of course, it's like the movement. Aubameyang have a time to move, and of course that particular chances which it took, of course, to make the run, it somehow create the chances. Like you can see the last goal from which he took
You
from
know why?
Sterling.
Do you know why, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Because under Potter, we have started playing. We started attacking now in the middle of the pitch.
That's
Have you
also
seen
a
that now?
that's not the thing.
misconception. That
But
is a
That's
yes,
not
it
the
is.
thing.
It
misconception.
is the thing,
Jay,
Ahmed.
that's the thing.
Because
Brother,
under
Jay,
Tuchel,
listen to me, brother.
no, under
brother,
Let me
Tuchel
tell
and
you.
all
Let
these
me
other
tell you my
managers,
point.
all we were doing is passing to the right and to the left and crossing.
Okay,
Bro,
Go
I
check the
Chino,
understand.
Bundesliga.
I
it
Go check
wasn't
the
the
understand. I
Bundesliga.
understand
Aubameyang,
Bro,
it
your
I'm
you
was
point.
guys
telling you
have
the
Ferdinand.
truth.
bro. You
Go
guys
check the
really have
Brother,
stats.
amnesia.
Go
I
check
You
the
guys have
understand
stats.
your.
amnesia.
I
Go
understand your
check the
point, Jay.
stats.
But
We're
okay,
playing down the road.
listen to what I gotta say, and then you judge for yourself. How about that? The thing is about Aubameyang, why has he started firing goals? Is that if you look at Aubameyang's stats in every team that he's entered, Barcelona, Arsenal, Borussia Dortmund, he has always been firing. Why? Because he has a clinical edge. Why? He has the
Thank you.
thing that Werner and Havertz didn't have.
Do
Now
not
going to the
have.
second part. Now, I'm gonna go to my second point. Tuchel, Sarri, Frank Lampard, all of them are attacking managers. All of them play in an attacking sense. All of them press. All of them go on the counter. All of them eat all of their philosophies. Is eating the other team alive in pressing and then get the ball and then score the goal. We have been doing that with the same profile of players before, and what did we get? Nothing. The only player that has been changed after Tuchel was sacked is Mount, that has been linking up between the defense and attack. That's the only player. The rest of the players have been doing exactly what they have been doing for the past 3-4 years of them playing.
Not true. Sorry,
Havertz
that's
has
not
been
Yeah.
true.
Right. Anyway,
That's not
Havertz
true.
has still is
That's
missing.
not true.
Havertz still
Yeah.
is
That's
missing.
just not true.
He's still missing. Last
Pulisic,
game against
look at
last game
Pulisic,
against Wolfsburg
Gallagher,
still
Hold
missing.
on, guys.
Pulisic,
Let me
Gallagher.
land this point really quick because I'm about to leave. Let me land this point really quick because I'm about to leave, and then obviously bust to all of
I
you.
want to
Respect.
quickly look at the forwards. I want to look at the goals scored this season by forwards as well, because obviously you've got matches played, and when you look at it, you've got Reece James who scored 2 goals in 11. Yeah, you've got Mason Mount who's played 12 games and not scored 1 goal this season. You've got Kai Havertz with 12 appearances with 2 goals. You've got Jorginho with 12 appearances, 2 goals. Gallagher's got 1 goal out of 10. And then when you get down to this bit, Raheem Sterling scored 4 in 11. Pulisic's got 1 in 10. Brower's got 1 in 9. And Pierre Aubameyang has got 3 goals in 5 games so far.
Okay?
So,
You're what Jem just read. That took me, and I
How many
listened
games
to
does
those
Potter
stats.
have?
Hold on. Sterling and Aubameyang will get more numbers than any of our attackers from the previous regimes, and I will bet quite literally $250 on it.
Everybody knows that, though.
To anyone.
Everybody knows this.
No. But this is my thing. Don't
Bro,
say
why do you
everybody
think
knows
that?
that when your argument is because Tuchel wasn't attacking. No, the argument is these players are shit in attack. Any
Are
of
you
these
forgetting
players in attack. Hold on.
Are you forgetting Lukaku?
I'm not even talking
Lukaku is
about
bad,
that. Hold
mate.
on.
I don't rate him.
Lukaku has a
on the
bad
Potter was
attitude.
bang.
Oh my Jesus Christ, bro! You guys don't understand football. You only look at certain aspects and then say, "I understand football." You bring Mbappe into this team right now, we do worse. Mbappe is a world-class fucking player. Do you know why we would do worse with Mbappe in our team? Because his attitude is shit, brother. Same with Lukaku. Lukaku shouldn't walk back to this team. Listen to me. They have an ego. Some players that have egos like that will quite literally sick a manager. So if Lukaku finds out, listen,
Ronaldo
hold
in
on.
Real Madrid, he had an ego.
Don't mention one of the goats with the rest of these players. Are you high?
Oh, okay. What about
But
Mbappe?
he's
He's the
an
best player in the
ego.
world right now. You can't.
Mbappe is not the best player in the world right now. Haaland is one. Two,
Haaland-
Mbappe is doing.
Bro,
Listen
Mbappe's
to me.
better than Haaland,
Mbappe
I'm saying.
isn't even the
Nah.
best player on his team right now. Neymar and Messi
Bro,
stats
Mbappe's still
outclips
the best
fucking
player in the world.
Mbappe.
Mbappe is still the best player in the world.
Mbappe can't be the best player in the
Brother.
world because he plays in League One. He plays in
Mbappe
France.
is not the best.
Thank
player. What are
you.
we talking about?
Listen. Let me land this point so I can go. When I'm
Benzema's
at the
about to
airport,
win
people
the
are looking at me
Ballon
like I'm crazy.
in La Liga.
Brother, let me land this point. We're going to talk present. I'm not going to talk past. Present tense right now with Potter. Mbappe, numero uno, is not the best player in the world right now. Go look at his stats. Compare them to Neymar's and Messi's. Both of those people are better. Next move. Hold on, wait. Let me finish. Secondly, when it comes to Chelsea Football Club, yeah? And this argument about, big egos would thrive in this team. This team complained about the previous manager because he yelled at them. And you want to talk to me about egos and this and that? One of these players might get a stern talking to from Potter and then decide, fuck you, bro, I'm sacking two. Like, are you serious? I'm down to excuse me.
Potter
Like,
will just
bro,
talk to him as if he's a therapist.
Can I
or
just quickly
something.
talk
Like,
about
are you okay or
Aubameyang?
something?
Let's hear from Eric Blue
Aubameyang-
quickly because I am going to finish.
Yeah,
soon.
go ahead.
Go on,
Yeah,
Eric Blue.
look, Aubameyang is a quality player. I think someone already made the point that when you have better players, in front of goal, they'll score more than the players who aren't good enough. That's part of it. I also think Tuchel's tactics, especially before he got sacked, they went the best in terms of giving the players the best chance to get goals. I think that's fair to say. We didn't look the same as we look as a team under Potter. We definitely look more attacking under Potter. That's I think that's undeniable. So I think both of those things you have to look at. But for me, Aubameyang was a no-brainer, and the money as well. I think it's a really good deal, and I think he's going to keep scoring goals because that's what he's done for his whole career.
Fair enough. That's a fair enough point.
But-
I agree with you.
But that's the thing, guys. Like the point about Tuchel not being able to achieve that attacking sense in the game. Let's remind you guys, he was able to achieve that till the players fell off with him in the last bit of his reign. That's the problem. The problem is with Tuchel isn't the tactics. His tactics has always. If you look at the big games where we played the biggest of teams.
Preach.
When we played the big, that's why I always used to call Tuchel's Chelsea just big game football. He always turns up at the big games. Never have I seen a game where it was extremely important for us and it never turned up, nor the players nor the manager. We had that capability, but the problem is with Tuchel is that maintaining it against small teams like your Brentfords, like your Southamptons, like with all due respect. But when you play, but he used to play badly with this team. Why? Because the mentality was not there. Why? Because the players weren't exactly with him on board at the end of his reign, especially with the injuries and the problems we had last year. It seemed like a lot of problems going on. And then at the beginning of the season, we only turned up against big teams. Every big team we played against, Real Madrid, finals, every time we played like it was the best team in football. But when it comes against the smaller teams, we used to see this side passing, this not knowing how to enter through the middle. Why? Because of the mentality. He didn't know how to play on the mentality. That's why, guys, Tuchel was really having a hard time because of the mentality. Now Potter is in, and we can see that we're winning against teams like Crystal Palace and Wolves, and we're turning up in big games like AC Milan. So that's a balance that I'm looking for. However, I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, I can easily counter that argument by saying our win percentage was very high. We weren't scoring as many goals, but we were still beating. We're beating most teams early on at Tuchel. We just weren't scoring as many goals.
Mhm.
And then the second season, we score a little bit more, but then we also concede more. So for me, yeah, fair enough. Towards the end, you're right. But I think we were still performing and scoring against the smaller teams. We just didn't score as many goals as we could have.
Yeah, no, I think it's just really early doors, guys, to be really having discussions on how Tuchel started and how the way Graham Potter's going. It's just, for me, we shouldn't be doing that anyway at this point in time. I think we need to wait.
You're
I
gonna
think we
have
need
to look like 6 months.
We'll have to wait and see these players because we know that these
more than
players
6
can be
months.
inconsistent in their decisions. So, you know, we have to wait and see with how that goes and stuff. But I do need to shoot, guys. 'Cause I've got to go out, unfortunately, as well. I'm back tomorrow, though, normal time. It's going to be an earlier show as well, back to the normal times around probably about 1-ish or something. So, yeah, we'll be doing the match preview to Aston Villa Chelsea, which is going to be an interesting one as well. But guys, it's been good discussions. We'll continue this again tomorrow. If you're all round, come on again. We'll open the lines and we'll go on talking about team lineups and other bits and bobs, how we're going to line up in these games and our results over there in recent times, etc., etc. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, big up to all of you guys. And
Thank you, Jeb. It was my first stream. I really had fun. Thank you, bro.
make sure you come back, Ahmed. Yeah, we'll see you.
Yeah,
we'll
no
see you.
problem. I'll become a regular.
Ahmed,
soon.
I need you here tomorrow, brother, so we can continue this rant. Genuinely
I'll
need
be
you here
there.
tomorrow.
Let's
You
have a-
saved
Yes,
that for the
please
player
help.
debates, man.
Also,
Yeah.
no. Listen, for me, it's just sacking players, but I know Jem has to go. That's literally my only argument point. These players' mentality is shit.
Listen, let's carry on tomorrow, and I've got some more time. We'll open up the lines earlier as well, and we'll just go through it. We'll do a team lineup, and we'll have yous in, and we'll sort of guess how we think we're going to line up and stuff as well, and talk about the players and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, all right, guys.
Definitely with it.
Right, sure thing. Take care, bro.
Take care, man. See you
Respect
later.
everyone.